You walk into a room and people barely notice you. You speak up in a meeting and your idea gets ignored. Then 5 minutes later, someone else says the exact same thing, and suddenly everyone's nodding. You're polite, you're kind, you work hard, but people don't take you seriously. They interrupt you, they dismiss you, they treat you like you're optional, and you start to wonder, what am I doing wrong? But here's what nobody tells you. Respect isn't something you earn by being nice or working harder. Respect is something you command. And it comes down to one thing. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what that one thing is. Because once you make this shift, people won't just respect you. They'll feel it instinctively. It's one behavior, one choice you make in every interaction. But most people do the exact opposite. And that's why they spend their whole lives wondering why no one takes them seriously. So if you've ever felt invisible or overlooked, stay with me. Because what I'm about to show you isn't just psychology. It's power. Let's start with something most people get wrong about respect. They think respect is about what you do, your accomplishments, your credentials. But that's not how human psychology works. Respect isn't logical, it's primal. It happens in the first few seconds of an interaction. Your brain is constantly scanning for social cues. And the most important one is this. Does this person respect themselves? People don't decide whether to respect you based on who you are. They decide based on how you treat yourself. There's a concept in psychology called self-perception theory. It says that people infer your value by watching how you value yourself. If you act like your time doesn't matter, they'll treat your time like it doesn't matter. If you act like your opinions are negotiable, they'll negotiate with you. But if you act like you belong, like your boundaries are non-negotiable, everything changes. And there's one specific behavior that signals all of this at once. It's not about what you say, it's about what you stop doing. Here it is. The one behavior that instantly commands respect. Stop explaining yourself. Most people, when they set a boundary or say no, they immediately follow it up with an explanation, an excuse, a justification. I can't make it to dinner tonight because I have this thing I need to finish and I've been so busy and I'm really sorry. And here's what's happening. Every time you over-explain, you're sending a signal. You're saying, I don't trust that my decision is valid. I need your approval. And people pick up on that. Their brain registers it. And the message they receive is, this person doesn't believe in their own authority. So why should I? But when you stop explaining, when you simply state your decision and let it stand, everything changes. I can't make it tonight. I think we should try a different approach. I need to leave by 6. No justification, no apology, no negotiation. And here's what happens. People respect it. Because you're respecting it. There's a term for this in psychology. It's called congruence. When your words and your energy match. When you say something and you mean it, fully. People feel that, and they respond to it. Here's the reframe. You've been taught that explaining yourself is polite. But the truth? Over-explaining is a sign of insecurity, and people can feel it. When you stop doing it, you're not being rude. You're being clear. You're being confident. And that's what respect looks like. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if people get upset? Let me tell you what really happens. At first, people might be surprised, because they're used to you over-explaining. So when you suddenly stop, there's a moment of recalibration. But then something shifts. They start treating you differently. They stop pushing your boundaries. They stop questioning your decisions. They stop assuming they can negotiate with you. Because you've signaled that you're not asking for permission. You're informing them of a reality. And people respect reality. Here's an example. You're with friends. They want to go out, but you're tired. Most people say, I'm so sorry. I'm just exhausted. I had such a long week. I really wish I could maybe next time. But someone who commands respect? They say, I'm going to sit this one out. Have fun, though. And the friends say, Okay, cool. See you next time. No guilt trip. No pressure. Because the energy was clear. Compare that to the person who over-explains. I'm so tired. I don't know. Maybe I should just push through. What do you guys think? The friends push back. Come on, just for an hour. Why? Because the person left the door open. They signaled their decision was negotiable. Here's the principle. It's called the certainty effect. When you communicate with certainty, people accept it. When you communicate with uncertainty, people challenge it. It's not about being mean. It's about being clear. And clarity is magnetic. Here's the real reason this works. When you stop explaining yourself, you're not just changing how others see you. You're changing how you see yourself. Every time you over-explain, you're reinforcing a belief that says, my needs aren't as important. My decisions need to be defended. And your brain believes what you tell it. There's a concept called behavioral confirmation. The way you act shapes the way you think. So when you stop explaining yourself, when you set a boundary and let it stand, you're telling your brain, I matter. My decisions are valid. I don't need anyone's approval. And over time, that becomes your identity. You start to feel different. You walk into rooms differently. You speak differently. Because you're no longer performing for approval. You just expect respect. And when you expect it, people give it. Here's the reframe. You've been taught that being accommodating is how you earn respect. But the truth? Those things earn you likability. And likability is not the same as respect. People can like you and still walk all over you. But when you respect yourself, when you stop explaining, stop apologizing, stop shrinking, that's when people start treating you like you matter. Because you're finally treating yourself that way. So let's bring this all together. Respect isn't something you beg for. Respect is something you claim. And you claim it by respecting yourself first. And the fastest way to do that? Stop explaining yourself. Stop justifying your decisions. Stop apologizing for your boundaries. Stop seeking permission to take up space. Just state what's true for you, and let it stand. Because every time you over-explain, you're teaching people that your decisions are negotiable, that your boundaries are suggestions. But when you stop, when you communicate with clarity and certainty, you teach them something different. You teach them that you're not asking, you're informing. And that changes everything. This isn't about being cold. It's about being clear. It's about valuing yourself enough to let your words carry weight. And the beautiful part? You don't have to change who you are. You just have to stop diminishing yourself. Because the respect you've been searching for, it's not out there. It's something you give yourself. And when you do, the world reflects it back. So tomorrow, when someone asks you for something and your answer is no, just say no. When you set a boundary, just set it. And watch what happens. Watch how people pause, how they recalibrate, how they start treating you differently. Not because you became someone new, but because you finally stopped pretending you needed their approval. You don't. You never did. And the moment you realize that, that's the moment everything changes.